Over 500,000 Canadian homes live with domestic violence. Domestic violence occurs in all cultures and can impact a child's well-being and performance at school. 85% of the victims of domestic violence are women.
It's estimated that in the average classroom there's as many as 3 to 5 children who live with the aftermath of violence, either being abused directly or being exposed to violence in their home. But these children can have an impact not only on them but also on their classmates.
Research shows that children who witness domestic violence, particularly the abuse of their mothers, can experience a whole host of social and emotional issues and may have great difficulty at school.
For the most part, I was a kid that kind of kept to myself. I didn't really act out, but at the same time, it was really on my mind.
Are you okay, Mom?
I'm okay. It affected my performance in school, and I wouldn't eat as much, I couldn't sleep.
It was affecting a lot. I was getting not so good grades, I couldn't concentrate. My friends were kind of getting mad at me because I snapped at them, and it's pretty bad.
Their mind really is set on what's been happening at home, and quite normally the child is angry, very angry. They may lash out at other children.
He was being socially isolated and trying to get attention from friends by acting aggressively with them.
Why were these kids behaving this way? Why would they react in such a way, such a violent way, to their frustrations? Trying to deal with it in a disciplinary manner and isolated at school, it wasn't working. And then I started to look at, well, maybe what was happening wasn't a choice. This was what was going on at home. This was what they had learned. This is what they knew.
Some children become more withdrawn, so they seem to be in a world of their own.
That's a good point.
Work's not being brought back to school. Child doesn't have a quiet place to do work at home. There's a sense that there's chaos in the family. Some children respond with feeling very anxious, insecure about the world around them. Because if you're not safe in your own home, where are you safe?
I'd always worry, well, my mom, is she going to be okay? Is she going to pass out? Because she suffers from a lot of things, and is she going to be there when I get home?
Anxiety about what is happening at home can leave the child unable to cope when things go wrong at school.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Whoa, I'm sorry. So anyway, his thing really
She had been outside playing and came into the house, and her father had his fist raised above her mother, and he looked at her when she came into the door.
You want me to hit her again, Sophie? You want me to hit her again? Shut up! I'm sorry!
People don't realize how deeply we hurt children.
Sophie, what's going on?
As a child psychiatrist, I know that children who've been exposed to domestic violence often come to mental health professionals far too late. By that time, the problems are very serious. They're affecting them in the home, the school, and the community. And it's sometimes very difficult to do anything much to help.
If you're a busy teacher with 25 to 30 kids with a whole host of needs in your classroom, having children dealing with the aftermath of violence adds different dimensions. They're children that often need more attention. They're children that may be disturbed and disturbing to other students, so it has a ripple effect in terms of how the whole classroom functions and how a teacher may have to cope with additional stressors.
So what can we do to help children and youth exposed to domestic violence? One of the most important things a teacher can do is create a safe environment where the students can build trust with other adults and their peers. But schools are not alone. There are services in the community that can help support students. The Children Who Witness Abuse program is an intervention prevention program for children and youth ages 3 to 18 who have been exposed to domestic violence. Skilled Children Who Witness Abuse counselors provide both awareness presentations as well as specialized group counseling and individual support to the students as needed. Having specialized Children Who Witness Abuse groups in school provides access to counseling that many children would otherwise not have.
Oh, anyways.
It was difficult for the first month because he felt that I was punishing him, taking him to counseling. So the first 3 or 4 counseling sessions were quite strenuous at first, but just knowing that it was a safe place to go, it was somebody other than family to help you if you needed to discuss anything that was bothering you.
So if you have a friend that have witnessing violence at home, so what do you think you can suggest her or him to do then? Or something you can help?
Counseling?
Yeah. Just tell someone? Yeah.
They know that they have some security within that group, that the confidentiality is the information that they give is not going anywhere. They're there, they get support. So, and they get the feeling that it's okay to talk about what's happening in my life, right? It's okay for other people to know. It's also okay that other people are going through this. It's just not me.
Or your siblings, then you can go to a transition house.
What is a transition house?
A transition house is a place for children and their moms to go when the home is too dangerous for them.
I thought I was the only one who had been abused in the whole entire world. It felt better to know that some people were just like me.
When the violence did happen, it affected my confidence, it affected my self-esteem, and I thought that I started blaming myself for this too, because I was thinking, maybe I'm to blame for all this stuff.
It's really important that the counselors and teachers are aware of the background of the child and ensure that support services are provided in a culturally sensitive and relevant manner. No culture condones violence, but the models that work for the dominant culture may not always work for immigrant or refugee groups. The intergenerational impact of residential schools may have implications in the level of trust that some First Nations students and families may have in the school system.
Hello, how are you? Yeah. Today we meet all those kids again. So.
Hi everybody, this is Ravi.
Hi.
Who's going to join me today?
Okay, welcome to.
I'll see you on
They learn how to work together, how to play together, what's appropriate to say, what's not appropriate to say. They're learning life skills, really, is what they're learning, right? They're learning also, what can I do? How do I protect myself? I can't protect my mom or my dad from this abuse or this violence. So what do I do for myself? How do I take care of myself?
Okay. So you pick up the phone and call 911 and?
My name is Lexi.
The important thing children learn is that fighting in the home is not their fault and that it could be dangerous to intervene.
Why do you think some children think it's their fault?
Well, because they get stuck in the middle and get yelled at.
It's never a child's fault when the parents are fighting. Even though sometimes you may hear that...
We need to break the cycle, and I think if we can get kids early enough and young enough, then we can teach them so that they have a chance to build their own skills so that when they get older, they already have the skills of dealing with their anger and frustration and disappointments non-violently.
The schools noticed that he's calmer within the classroom, and he feels more confident about his school day.
I noticed that my schoolwork was picking up. I was getting better. Mentally, it was easier for me to go to school. And I wouldn't feel so tight and so withdrawn from everything happening in school.
So everybody has to be involved in this issue. It's not optional. It's not an optional course. Relationships aren't optional. They're essential for life, and they're an essential part of what we have to talk to young people about.
Well, I've just been very pleased to have had the program in my school now for 2 years, access and use to help our students be successful, and that's our ultimate goal, is the success of all our students.